Hi everybody, my name is RealOdd1 and welcome to another video where I have another gaming idea. Sorry I can't do the other mode for slideshow mode. I recently made a video about this and it didn't work, so I wasted 15 minutes of my life trying to make a video with slideshow mode on, and it didn't work. So here I am again, recording. But today we're going to be talking about another gaming idea, and if you can't already see by the slideshow, I think you can kind of guess where I'm going. So Rockstar Games is personally one of my favorite gaming developers out there. They've created Red Dead Redemption and GTA, for example. They're just really great games where you can have like endless hours of fun with your friends, and it's just a wonderful time. And honestly, I've played their games, mostly GTA, and I've watched gameplay of Red Dead Redemption. They just really are great games. They have endless hours of fun, you get to play with your friends, you pretty much got a free online range mode for pretty much both games, Red Dead Redemption and GTA, and they're just fun. Personally, I just love the games. They are awesome, and they have endless hours of fun that you can do. Honestly, the best part of GTA is going and trying to infiltrate the military base. That's all I usually do when I play the game, because honestly, it's a lot of fun. But I really like Rockstar Games. They're personally a really good gaming developer, in my opinion. So, Red Dead Redemption. If you haven't heard of the game, it's pretty much a Western-style game where your main character is a cowboy, you get to ride your horse, you get to have a lot of fun, and it's a lot of, if you haven't never watched gameplay or played the game, I would recommend it because it's just an awesome game. So, what's the big idea? Like, what's my idea? Personally, I like really like Westerns. From the movies to the books to the video games. But unfortunately, I don't think we really have a lot of Western video games in the gaming community. So what I was thinking is we create another Western that we could play. That's pretty much the main idea. So, my idea, sorry, I went past it. So my idea, the game doesn't necessarily have a name, because I didn't know what to name it. Because I'm just horrible at giving names, except when it comes to characters. So the main character's name is Justina, or however you want to say it, Albert Robeck, aka, for short, they call her Justin. She's 24 years old, and yes, she's a female. And as you can see by the story, she was a wild woman raised by, 10 older brothers and a father, and after the death of their mother, they become bank robbers because the cattle farming went to shit. And that kind of happened to a lot of people, fun fact, in the West. But it's whatever, so they become a family of bank robbers, and that's pretty badass, in my opinion. Eventually, after robbing a shit ton of banks, they become one of the richest families in the West, and unfortunately, that doesn't last long because their bad luck catches up with them. After one of their heists goes wrong, her father is kidnapped by a man who is the leader of a powerful group that is currently taking out other groups, so, like other Bambito groups, because of competition. Her father is then mercilessly killed by the group, and her brothers and her kind of split up. So they ration out, like, the money, but Justin doesn't really want any of it because she never really was a fan of just going and robbing banks. And for the next 5 years, she doesn't really hear anything from her brothers. Most of them went off and joined other groups or just decided to leave. But Justin kind of goes off on her own. She tries to play the whole be a woman in the West kind of style, but she just can't. And for the next 5 years, she's kind of in a rut. Until one of her younger brothers, by the name of Nathan, comes up to her doorstep bloody and half dead. And he says that the guy and his group that killed her father, or their father, is after him and all of her brothers. and that he came to warn her or about what was going to happen. So Justin kind of gets a little peeved off that this group of guys is just doing whatever the hell they want and decides that it's time to get justice for her father and the hundreds of men that they've mercilessly killed just because they wanted to be number one. So that's kind of the main idea of the story. I plan to do some dialogue here in a minute after I explain the gameplay. So the gameplay is gonna be pretty much like Red Dead Redemption. Like I just love the art style and kind of the feel of the game, so I want to keep it that way if possible. There are gonna be cutaways in the story, not too many, but there are going to be some to help build the story because that's a video game for you. I like the story build up in a video game, but there is going to be plenty of shooting gameplay, riding your horse, beating up everybody, stuff like that in the game. If possible, I would like there to be a form of like the Borderlands art style, because personally, Borderlands art style for their games is fucking amazing. Sorry for the swearing, but it's just amazing. And honestly, if they could incorporate it into the game, I would love it, but I don't know if it'd be possible. Just like the other game, it's a shooter. I don't think you're gonna have like, you know how Arthur can like zoom in and do stuff like that. I don't know, like his special abilities for firing guns. I don't know if that's gonna be in this game. I don't really know how I want the gunplay to be. You guys can let me know what you would think it should be like. So, just like in the other Red Dead Redemption games, the further you go along in the game, you'll be able to edit Justin, like from clothes to hairstyle to stuff like that. You're not gonna be able to. This isn't the new game coming out, like Cyberpunk or whatever, where you can design the body. I'm sorry. That I can't wait till that game comes out. But that's gonna be one of the options in the game. I want it to be more Western. I don't want it to be as modernized because I want it to be the feel of the Wild Wild West. Because personally, Wild Wild West was the best. It was awesome. So I don't really want it to be have any modernization like in the Red Dead Redemption town. Some of the towns are extremely modernized in Red Dead Redemption. I don't want any of that, so maybe this will happen a lot earlier, before like the end of the Western era or something like that. And yes, as you can see on the bottom, I want to be able to name the horse that I ride, and I want a dog. Honestly, I don't know why I just feel like a dog makes the game 100% better, and I just want a dog. But I'm gonna go on a rant here. So I'm gonna do some monologuing here. So, I don't know how I want to do this, but this is kind of just bear with me. So my name's Justin, aka Justin Tina. My mama wanted a girl, and she said she'd have a girl even if it killed her. And unfortunately it did. I'm the youngest out of 10 brothers. Yeah, you heard me, 10 older brothers. I'm kind of a tomboy. Don't necessarily get along with most women. But that's probably because I had 10 brothers. My father fell into a depression when my mother died, and we lost our cattle. From a lot of things, from just selling them to getting plain robbed from. My father had the idea that we should start our own Caliban, or band of robbing and stuff. At first, none of my brothers really agreed with him, but as times got harder, we decided that it was the only way. I was about 4 or 5 when we started to do it. What my father thought was the best idea for me to do was to be a distraction. Send me into the bank dressed up as a cute little robber with a slingshot, and he'd tell me to act. This is a stick-up, I'd say. Give me everything you got. Everyone in the bank would just kind of stare at me, and eventually they'd break out into laughter, as a 4 or 5-year-old trying to rob the place. And yeah, that's when the TNT would go off and my brothers would drag the safe out of the bank. I'd eventually run out of the bank and my daddy would ride on his horse and grab me, literally carry me out of town. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. But eventually we became the richest people in that part of the area, which put a pretty big target on our back. As time went on, we continued robbing, but things got hard again. One unfortunate day, my father was getting too old for this anyway. He fell. And when he fell, that signed his death sentence. He was taken by a group that was led by an evil man who mercilessly murdered my father. He made an example out of him in front of the whole town. It was horrible. And after that, more hardship hit us. We were starting to lose money, and my brothers and I split up amongst us. I didn't take much. Never really took pride in robbing from hardworking people. But family is family. I won't complain. I tried to get ahead of life and become this woman that everybody expected me to be, and I could never do it. I eventually moved out far, far away from civilization and just kind of did what I did. Thought I was in love for a little bit, but he wasn't what I thought he was. But eventually, about 5 years later, one of the younger brothers of mine, Nathan, came crawling half dead to me, saying that he was being chased by the Banditos that murdered our father, and that they were coming for all of us. Well, except me. Wouldn't kill a woman, would they? Well, I say to hell with it. Those men are gonna get a taste of their own damn medicine. One by one, I'm gonna take them. They're gonna go straight to hell when I'm done with them. They're gonna pay for all the merciless killing they've done, for the hundreds of men that they mercilessly slaughtered. I'm gonna get justice, one way or another. I know that wasn't very good, but that's kind of what I wanted to do. I have no idea what I was doing, but that's kind of the idea. So, sorry you had to listen to that, but that's kind of the story right there. But that was my rant. But one of the things I really wouldn't mind happening is if there was a way to get a good and a bad ending in the story. Like, if you haven't read it already, it's like you can either become like a bloody killer and become one of the most deadly Western outlaws in a new group that just takes revenge on those who've done wrong and leave your family behind, or you can bring your family back together and get justice for your family and be a hero to hundreds that have been killed by this group. And this group, like, I guess I still don't have a name and I don't know who the leader is, but yeah, they get justice for them killing all those like other men who were in groups and being just horrible people. But that's kind of my rant and my story idea. Sorry if it was a little weird with the monologuing, I guess. I can't really do the Western accent anymore. I'm losing my touch. But otherwise, I kind of want to know what you guys think. I don't really give a crap if you leave a like. Just tell me what you think. Do you like this idea? Do you think one day someone might see it and say, damn, we should make a game out of this? Or, hell, this is actually a really good idea. But honestly, I don't know how to program or anything. I can't really make a video game, so if anybody, wink wink, wants to be a part of this or is really good at making video games and see this, hit me up. But I want to know what you guys think. Honestly, I think it's a great idea, but it's just my idea. If it ever does happen, I'd be happy. Like, honestly, I would play the game. I would play the game. But honestly, guys, let me know what you think. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Honestly, I did this because I was bored out of my gourd because of COVID, but it's whatever. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a good Sunday, and let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. See you guys later.